My friend, how does money go around? Money
Right.
goes around because somebody has a problem, somebody solves it. So when we have no problems, we have no money flow.
We don't need money. We don't need money to solve
If
problems.
everybody was a millionaire, there would be no millionaires.
Yes, we have.
So what's the beauty of being a millionaire then?
The beauty of the being a millionaire is simply that you do more stuff. You can do more stuff. You can solve bigger problems. Most of the people are so selfish because they are poor. Poor people are very selfish because they cannot think for anything else but their own problems, and that's called selfishness. And they are there in that positions because of lack of education, lack of the right information. It's simply lack of right information. And they are so selfish because of the parenting, because of the neighborhood, because of the circumstances. And knowing these things, all the humanity has to become understanding these problems and solve them right away. The problem is not the money, the problem is not the people, is the wrong foundations and explaining. Have you noticed that in the current education system there's no topic of money acquisition? How to get money, what money is, how it works. Have you heard any classes on that?
Not unless you specialize on that, no?
Yeah, in some areas, but
Maybe a couple of things in accounting and finance.
Yeah, but that's
yes, these
that's
are
once you
keeping
specialize
track
on
of
that.
money, not acquiring money. A few people say, and people don't listen to these people.
We actually do some Federal Reserve. How does that work?
Because you're
How
studying
does this-
finance, my guy.
How the Federal Reserve
We're talking about
works.
students
I
in
made
high
40
school.
I made 40 minutes video on that topic. It explains everything very well.
So everybody go watch it now.
Everybody go watch the prior video, whatever it's called. It's called money and how to get it, what to get it, where to
These
look.
guys don't care about money.
Yes, you see, that's a perfect existence, and human can live just like this. You basically need money. I will tell you how much exactly money you need to be fulfilled in life. You only need money for 3 meals ahead. 3 meals ahead. How much was your meal today?
Idea?
$21?
28, yeah.
Oh my God.
Is it's 21.
Oh, who was 21?
Here, I
So you
ordered
need
chicken,
about
he ordered steak.
$63. That's all the money you need. How much was yours?
28.
Multiply by 3 and that's all you need. All the rest is in the Maya, in the mind of uneducated men on the topic of money. That's how simple it is. But people want the millions, they want the billions, they just
The thing is, people get so trapped in the system, so they can't escape, and they get trapped, and they think they need money because that's the only escape.
I had a conversation with a homeless guy once. He asked me for money, and I answered him quite in an arrogant way. I told him, go get a job. He's like, I don't want a job.
yeah, he wants money.
He doesn't want a job.
He
No.
does the right thing.
He's happy already.
Yeah.
He lives life.
He found a way to live a happy life because the reason is he lives in a wealthy society that he will never be starving.
Right.
So he enjoys every moment of his life doing the right thing for
So
him.
what's harder, being poor or being rich?
Being poor is terrible. Being rich is good. Everybody should be super
No, what's
rich.
harder?
Harder? Harder is the hardest is to become rich from being super poor. That's hard. It will take the proper training, the proper knowledge to be put in the mental computer that you have, to be very acute to who to listen, because the good information may come from a bad source, and the bad information can come from a very good source. It does not matter who gives you the poison. Could be Franco giving you the poison in the coffee.
All
Yes.
that matters is to not take it.
I left the cigarettes over there, the pack that I haven't bought here, so I'm going to go grab it. One of you hold the phone.
Yes, we are here. Franco will say about the system. The system.
So how did it feel
So
to be in front
basically-
of the camera instead of being behind it?
Oh, I'm always in front of the camera.
Yeah, but for this occurrence right here.
Oh yeah, it's good. For me it's the same. Back in the back of the camera or in the front is the same for me. And the reason is because I probably did a lot of experience with the camera, in front of the camera and behind the camera. It's pure experience. Yeah. So a good advice for people. For good advice for people that advice or a
I
consultation.
was
I don't
talking
know.
about the system that I like how the system works because the society functions very good with this system because we need all the kinds of wealth levels, I would say. Like we need the rich and we need the poor
We
because
need
the
a
rich
hierarchy.
Yeah.
exactly. So because that's how the society works because people who want money they are willing to do the work to get the money, so that's how we get the workers to do the job because because this society, that's how it works. Without workers there is nothing, there is no system.
Without workers, there are no bosses. With no bosses, there are no workers. As
And the
simple
system
as that.
doesn't work. You can see how all these buildings are functioning every day, like the subway system underground and everything. Like even one small problem that happens there, you know, there should be a lot of work. There should be put a lot of work to fix it,
Yes.
to make it work.
Once a man said, that's a good lessons for you guys. Some people say, yeah, that should be more equal, like the communism. I come from the communism. It's a terrible, terrible idea. Terrible idea. It did not work. It didn't take a lot of things into account.
agree.
Yes. So this is what some visionaries said. Like one guy in particularly, he said, let's say we make the communism, we take all the money from the rich and we give it distributed to the poor. In just a few years, the money will go back to the same pockets.
Yes.
Heard that many times. Haven't
That's
seen
so
it in
true.
practice yet, but maybe once
That's
the world
true.
collapses and comes again.
I have seen it in practice myself. Even happened to me.
To yourself.
Yeah.
You lost,
I lost
businesses?
I lost businesses. I got businesses stolen from me. I got
Our parents experienced it as well. There was a communism system, which I think is not fair. I'm a capitalist myself. Some people have different ideologies, but me myself, I like capitalism because I think people should have should get credit for what they for the risks they take and for the job they do, and there shouldn't be equality but justice.
So credits translates in money. So now, let me have you go over there, film from here. So,
you film from there. I go film from there.
Yes. So now I'm gonna ask you, Ivan, a question.
Yes.
And the people watching. Cool. So we have, let's say this is a garden and you can see through it, right?
A
We have-
garden.
yes. So
This
we
is a
have-
garden,
Yeah.
like the roses over there.
Yeah,
you
it's a
see the-
garden, yes. And this is, let's say this is not transparent. You can see through it. right?
You can see through.
Okay, cool. So in order to watch that view, you're gonna have to be above it, right? Because you can't see through here. So we have one person who is this tall, a person who is this tall exactly, and a person who is this tall, so he can see through it. And now we have three objects of three different sizes. One that is long enough to have the guy here see through it. Another one that is long enough to have the guy see through it, and the guy doesn't need an object, but he has an object. Now, is it fair we give these three people three different objects to see through this in there, or do we give them the same height object? So now, what is fair? What is the democratic way to do it? Talking about taking credits. They want to see over this.
Yes.
Did you get my point?
He's basically comparing
Well,
capitalism with communism,
Right.
or comparing justice with equality.
Justice versus
So-
equality.
What
Before you answer, did you understand the question?
not really, but I'm thinking now because I have so many thoughts in my head.
Okay.
the first thing that came to me was another story. Should I answer with the story?
Let's hear it.
That's a good story. It's
Then
like
based on that, I can judge if you understood the question or not.
couple of thousand years old. I did not understand it. I kind of understand it partially, but there's a story
So
about.
let me make it more clear in few words.
Okay.
So we have this guy, this tall, and the other guy is tall as Franco.
Yes.
Now, do we give the short guy a box to hop onto it? The same box as tall as Franco that doesn't need a box, or do we give him a
Bigger
taller
box than me.
Now, if the box is education, we should give bigger box to the shorter guy. If the box is education. Now, education should be equally distributed to everybody regardless of their height, so they can see.
And if the
What is
box
fair, what is fair to me, in my mind, is we give equal boxes to everybody, and everybody based on their innate capability. Innate means one guy is taller by default, but we give equal boxes to these guys. So the minimum height of the box for the shorter guy should be at least for him to see above the fence, above the garden.
Right.
Now, we can give the same height boxes to all of the guys.
But the guy wouldn't be able to see through.
They will see through. We give the shorter guy, if the box is education,
Okay.
we give the shorter guy enough education so he can see over the horizon of the garden, so he can see there is, hey, over there is Manhattan. So once you do that, now the guy look through the skyline and see, wow, this is beautiful, you know, like the scene, the sun, the reflection. He can now see. Most people are deprived from that box.
So you're basically giving him a box, but you're not giving Franco a box. So
We
that's not
give
equality.
everybody box if the box is education.
Okay.
Yeah, but we don't have enough boxes to have.
Oh, we do have enough education, trust me. We do have enough education. Currently, people don't have the will, and the people on the top understand. They don't understand actually. People on the top are responsible to give the boxes to the people on the bottom, but they don't understand. The people on the top believe other mechanics are in play.
What-
They believe if they deprive the shorter guy from the box, he will never have a chance to see over the horizon, over the garden, right? So they say it's pure control. We don't give him the box education. The guy stay in his slot
Then
of
here
society.
comes Ivan, he grabs the guy here and he pulls him up.
Yeah,
Yes,
With
there.
I
NBS.
was wondering what if the boxes were wealth?
Wealth, if you give the shorter guy the wealth, he will not do anything. He will just immediately give it to
Throw
the
it
guy
on the
that
sea
has
or
the
the
wealth. That's how the
river.
wealth will work. The wealth is a different thing.
Yeah.
If you give him money, I can tell you like a lot of stories about this.
Right.
This like a guy gave a $10,000 to a guy and say all you have to do is to go to that bank and deposit it. It was a scam. I told you about the guy, by the way.
Uh-huh.
And when he gave the $10,000 to the guy, you know what the guy did? He was like a homeless person. So he immediately went and spent all the money, $10,000. But the guy told him this, listen, I give you $10,000. You go over there, the door, you come back, it comes back $30,000. The guy's a genius, right?
Right.
But the guy didn't do that. The poor guy just took the money and ran away. So this guy who invented this scheme went back to this guy and asked him, hey, why the hell you didn't go to the bank to bring me the $30,000 and we go to the other bank and make $30,000 more? The answer of the poor man was simple. He said, I've never seen $10,000 in my life. Just think on that. Now, when you give somebody $10,000 that have never seen $10,000, what's the natural thing to do? If I give you $1 million right now, suppose I have it, what are you gonna do? Once I received substantial amount of money and I lost it almost instantaneously. I made all the mistakes that I should have not made, and people told me, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. But I made it anyway. I lost the money anyway. It's come from experience. So when you're presented with material that you cannot handle, you usually make mistakes. That's based on my experience, at least. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do with $1 million right now, Franco? You're in the finances.
I pretty much studied a lot about investing and money, so I
Oh.
wouldn't.
My favorite question: where are you gonna invest the money?
Real estate myself. I don't
Oh, I made TikTok video like 10 minutes.
I would put 30% in the stock market,
Okay.
50% in real estate,
Okay.
and
20% fun money, jerk off, prostitutes, crack, cocaine, whatever it
The
is.
stock market.
The stock
Broke
market.
people who buy shares from broke companies who are never gonna make money, hoping for a miracle. Fuck the stock market, man.
I don't
Real
know.
estate.
I'm just asking these questions to the kids, and they never get the right answer.
Tell us the right answer. Enlighten us.
Well,
the last 20 I will keep it cash.
cash. What are you gonna do with the cash? Cash is trash in the current economy.
Wipe my ass.
I want to keep the cash because I believe the cash is gonna become very strong.
Oh yeah. What's the current state of affairs of today's cash when they are printing $1 trillion per second? Have you heard of that?
Heard of that, but I heard about the recession too.
Oh. Okay. Here is my take on this, because I made a video and I was surprised, because like a year ago, the kids, I asked them, what are you gonna do if all the problems you have now with money just disappear and you're presented with $1 billion? All the kids said the same thing, what you guys just said. And I was like, wow, look at these big ideas. One guy said this. One guy said, I'm gonna solve the biggest problem, gravity. And another kid was like a little bit older, and he overheard the situation about the gravity, anti-gravity, you know, these things like the flying saucers and all this stuff, YouTube, propaganda, semi-true, semi-untrue.
Global warming.
Yes.
Which is
So now, in order for you to solve bigger problems, you don't need money. You need education again. And one of the kids, the other kid overheard this big solving the gravity problem, and he came up with instantaneous idea. Was the idea. So he said, imagine a bra for women that has this anti-gravity thing. What this will be? All the women will be online to buy this Wonder Bra. We're gonna call it the Wonder Bra. It will uplift your
Tits.
titties even you are 93 years old. That would be a miracle, right? And then I thought, wow, that's clever, interesting. And then I thought for a second and I say, how about the gay guys? Some of the current state in the society, you cannot really distinguish, is it a girl or a guy, because the titties of these guys are almost like a woman titties. And you look at them and you say, is this a woman or a guy? And I told him, hey, you miss half the population as a segment of the market, so it's not going to help only the bra for the Wonder Bra for the women, but it's going to be Wonder Bra for a lot of guys. Franco is not one of them. That's all I can say. He goes in the gym.
Well, I'm not
But
the
Neil,
What's up, man?
are the titties growing or
I'm a skinny guy
no?
who likes to make money.
You see, when you guys are young, you never think of that, because your mind is, oh, the money is now the. I understand when I was your age, of course, all my life was like the money. Then when you make a lot of money, when you earn a lot of money, when you get a lot of money, and we lost them all, it will happen to you at one point. Then you realize, hey, there is something more than money. It's called education again. Self-education could be, or could be, invest in yourself. And no kid ever gave me this thing. Nobody say, hey, out of this $1 million, I'm just gonna put like $100,000 in myself. I'll take all the classes necessary to manage the rest of the $1 million, which will be $900,000. Is this a good concept? What do you guys think? Nobody. It doesn't even cross their mind.
Another alternative.
Huh?
You can just get like you say, would you rather get advice or consultation? You get a consultation.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
if
You
you
should
have a
invest in consultation because the knowledge
Right.
now is so dirt cheap. For $2,000, I went to some seminars that was $2,000, and I immediately told the guy after he even started, I say, wait a minute, I don't think this is fair to you. You are giving me too much. You should double the price right away. I just told, like, yesterday morning, I told one guy who called me on behalf of some business guru, and I say, wait a minute. First of all, I got this $2,000 information in the first 10 minutes of what he was talking about. And then he wanted to give me so much more. But only I can judge that through experience. If this information was presented to some guy that has not been gone through this struggle and suffering, you know, he would not even cross his mind that this is valuable information for
Are you bragging or complaining?
I'm bragging, more like bragging. It's a bragging thing. But I told the guy, hey, tell your boss, you know, because the boss is here in New York, I have to meet him this next week. And I told him the first thing to tell him right away now to double the price, because he's being over delivering too much. Maybe sales techniques, maybe lack of confidence. The guy is super smart though.
Right.
It's not none of these things. So I'm gonna ask him in person, why you are so cheap? Why you're giving so much for what's the gimmick? You know,
How much was the price?
$2,000 only. I got $2,000 worth of information in the first 10 minutes. And it was 2 hours for free. For free. Education. Yeah, that's good to know. What's the book that I gave you today? Mr. Neil.
Think
Think Fast, Think Slow.
fast, think slow, yeah.
Yeah, it's a brilliant book. Now let's go to the
Van.
You're gonna say something? This video is getting too
Yes.
Too long.
This video is sponsored by tshirtstatement.com.
You
We're gonna
see?
have our first truck running around very soon.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
And then maybe a few more in the next couple
This
weeks.
is made by T-shirt Statement, by the way. It's
100%
showing,
cotton.
it's 100% cotton. It's show you the middle finger.
It's a design somebody
yeah,
made.
all
You can
kinds
make
of-
your own designs.
You can make your own designs.
Yeah.
If you are dumb enough, we have ChatGTP will make it for you. We have our
Makes it
own
for you.
ChatGTP. We'll mix your ideas, and that was good, Neil.
I know.
You are very
Yes.
sharp.
Okay, let's
These are the future of this company. I believe. Let's go now do the taxi thing. I love my job as a taxi driver.